if there's someone that comes to mind that is tugging on your heart, how about we lift them up during the beginning of our meditation time and just know that God is in the details, not the devil. And I've always hated that. Oh, the devil's in the details. No. God is in the details. So let's make sure we know that the divine is in every detail of every healing, of every situation, and of moving forward as we step into our meditation time this morning. Just take a breath, or as many as it takes, to check in, to feel where there might be something balled up, something not relaxed, and just allow it to relax. We release any thoughts that we don't need in this moment, and that's all of them right now. We just allow them to flow by like ripples in a stream. We take that moment to move with gentle purpose from any concerns into that inner sanctuary, into that space where we feel connected with the source of all that is, with that space that allows us to access our divine guidance, that allows us to become still, open, receptive, and ready to hear, ready to learn, ready to evolve as we go. We allow ourselves this time to just come apart for a while, to know that that breath that we are breathing is the breath of God itself. No separation. Nothing between me and you, nothing between me and God, nothing between you and God, simply the breath becoming. Allowing every breath in to be fresh, new, cleansing, healing, expansive, and opening us to the possibilities that lay before us. As that breath moves through us, cleansing and rejuvenating our cells, we allow it to transform anything that needs to be let go. We allow it to go. Even in the giggles. Apparently I have a drum track today, so let's just see where that goes. We allow that cleansing activity to happen. We allow the joy to ripple through in the giggle. And we allow that expansive energy so that it all belongs, so that it's all a part of this moment and it all does the work that it's here to do. We include. We don't push away. We don't exclude. We allow. We welcome. Knowing that each thing that comes to us can move through us and become a healing opportunity for something that might not now be yet ready to move. We just feel the flow. And then we allow ourselves to go with it. We feel that expansive energy within, knowing that as we allow the breath to move through, to cleanse, to enliven and renew, and then to leave us on the exhale, cleanse. Much as the plants process our carbon dioxide into oxygen, we allow these breaths to process anything that needs healing and leave it outside of us, renewed and ready to begin again. breathing through the Godness, holding that God is breathing through each one of us, breathing into life all that can be, bringing new possibilities and new joys, new expansive energies and new unique abilities into being when we say yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. I am brave. I am ready. I am willing to be transformed by anything that I see as needing to move through me. Holding that expansive energy, we take just a moment in the silence, allowing it to flow. And then breathing in again, allowing this new movement to inform us moving forward. Ready with open hearts, open eyes, receptive spirits. We know we can see what is coming for us to be. We welcome the opportunity. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
because I am brave.
So are we brave? Sometimes. Yeah, I can relate. Yeah, there are days I am invincible. And there are days that it's everything I can do to put on clothes that sort of match and walk out of the house. Each and every day brings this new palette, brings this new possibility for us to stand up and create the life that we are living on purpose. See, here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but pretty much every day of my life, I find at least, 5, 6, 35,000 things that feel as though they are coming at me or toward me. I turn on the news, I go on my internet in the morning and see the latest headline. I listen to people's tales of why they can't. And I'm not talking about counseling people, I'm talking about my kids, my friends, my family. We have these paradigms in our heads about how life happens. And stuff happens. See, I said stuff again. See, I'm being good. We know stuff happens. It happens every day. All sorts of things happen out there. However, the world that is mine, no matter what is happening, no matter what you come and say to me, no matter if you tell me I stunk last week, no matter if I look at my bank account and it's not what I feel like I need it to be so that I can be prosperous, or if my car messes up. We've had a 3-month epic adventure with my car and car troubles that I've been showing up for. And so there's ways to show up in these things, because whatever any of that is that happens, the way my world is created is from in here, because it's what I choose to do with it. It's what I move from when the stuff hits the fan that creates what's going to be next. I said I've had this odyssey with my car. So my car, we keep joking at the dealership that we have a ghost in the machine. And it's a really mischievous one, because it won't reproduce what it's doing for me for anyone else. So apparently I'm so blessed that I am the one that gets to feel every little weirdness that it's doing. And it's been doing these intermittent issues, and I've had it into the dealership now 4 different times for the same issue that cannot seem to be reproduced, including a stint of over 2.5 weeks with a loaner car where they put a good 200 miles on my car trying to make it do what it was doing. They took part of the engine apart. They have done everything they could possibly do and jumped through flaming hoops to find out what's happening. Well, see, the issue for me is it never happens in town, except for backing out of my driveway. Occasionally the car goes, nah, and just shuts off. And then you turn it back on and it goes, no, I said no. And it shuts off. And you do it 3 or 4 times, and then finally it will start and it will go. And, the bigger issue, though, is I drive between here and West Palm Beach to see my kids. I have made a commitment when I moved here that I would do that at least once a month. And I have added the layer of a boyfriend that lives in Okeechobee. So now I get all of this traveling experience, and that's when the car does the thing. And the thing is, it suddenly hiccups and decides that it feels like it's going to stall, and sometimes it loses power entirely on the side of 98 driving 70 some odd miles, because I do have a lead foot, if you haven't noticed. Some of you try to follow me to locations after here, and you know. So it wouldn't reproduce it. Well, it's really frustrating, and the fact that I have a car payment for the first time in a couple decades, and I'm paying pretty well for this car, is not fun when it starts doing all this stuff, and the fear of being left on the side of the road. Sharon taught me something this morning. She taught me how to drop a pin. She taught all of us at the table over here how, if you are stuck in the middle of nowhere, you can simply tap on your location in Google Maps or wherever you're at, and you can drop a pin to somebody to come get you. See, my daughter tracks me on Life 360, so she knows where I am every single moment of the day and has no hesitation to ask me why I am where I am if she doesn't like it. So she even gets notifications when I leave the house in the morning. I told her to please turn those off. I am a grown woman and I am not senile. I am allowed to go where I want to go. So the last time that it did this, and we went through all of this frustration, the dealership said, so we have this one option, but we don't usually do it, because we can hook up a machine to your car, and it can, when something happens, you can press this button, and it will record for at least 5 minutes before and after the button press for what's going on with your car. So I drove to Okeechobee on Friday, and I thought, okay, come on, do it. Come on. I've never wanted my car to mess up more. And I was like, please, please, please. Because they also told me, by the way, we don't do this frequently because this machine costs $2,800. And if anything happens to it while it's in your car, right, and I'm like, yeah, well, can we please do this now? And it's intermittent. So I'm driving across and nothing happened in the morning. Again, what is happening in here when what's happening out there is happening? I want my car to mess up now because it serves me that it would do that. How many things in life do we grab onto that we're like, well, no, I just want it to happen now because I'm ready right now? Yeah, life has a much better sense of humor than that. So no, it doesn't happen on demand. Well, when I was driving home, I hit a sudden torrential downpour, and in the torrential downpour, the car goes, okay, now. It started spurting and going forward and jerking backward, and I'm like, hit the button, and I hit the button, and I'm like, okay, can't see through the rain, but this is good, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm accelerating and decelerating to give it a chance to flush this all out, and as I'm accelerating and the rain is teeming on the car, I'm thinking, okay, we've got this, and it's going, and then this little machine starts making weird beeps at me, and now I'm like, is it recording? Did I hit the button right? Did I do this right? What if it's not recording? And as I did that, the whole car powered down on the side of the highway in a torrential downpour. And it said, okay, let's go for it, shall we? And I sat on the side of the road for a few minutes. Now, you might think panicked, upset, worried, and I was like, yes, it did everything it's done right now. I'm so excited. I've never been so happy that my car stalled, died on the side of the road, and left me stranded for a few moments. And I waited, and I breathed. See, there it is, the breath. We move from circumference to center into center to circumference, usually with a pause and a breath. Too often when stuff happens, we get so rolled up in what's going on and in the crisis and in the gotta do this now. And there is nothing you have to do before you could take a breath. There's power in the breath. There is so much power in the pause. And so I shut off the car and I paused a minute after my did it now. We're going to have answers. I'm going to know what's happening to this car. Oh crap, I'm stopped on the side of the road. Take a breath. Move into that centered space of, we got this. Whatever it is, we can work through it. My car started right back up, and I drove the rest of the way home, now with the evidence of what's going on with my car. So I will have answers. Where are we offered those opportunities that we just panic through? That we swear right in this second we have to fix everything, or we've got to know what to do next. We don't always know what to do next. And if we can allow that to give us pause instead of panic, we have our power to move from center to circumference, not from circumference to center. There's always going to be opportunities in what's happening out here that are going to allow us to step up and state our beliefs, declare our freedom, decide what matters in every moment. See, we have the freedom to do that. The media, the situations, the ridiculous fear-mongering would like us to believe differently. I have a child that has panic attacks, that has dealt with anxiety for many years. Now I have two. Both my son and my daughter have been in this space of surfing the waves of panic. And so we have learned in my household that, and now it's an extended household because they call me or text me sometimes and go, "Hey, Mom, it's happening." And so we get together, and the very first thing we do is we stop and we take a breath. And we recenter, knowing that in this moment, I am breathing, I'm not bleeding, I can see things that I can touch, I have a support system. Life may not be everything I want it to be right now, but in this moment, I can claim this sacred safety right here. And then we'll expand out. We'll look around. We'll say, okay, what's one thing right now that you can look at that can bring you peace? And we breathe again. Can you smell anything? Is there something around you in this moment that you can smell, a smell that you can recognize? Can you take a moment and focus on that and breathe? Is there one thing in this moment that you can put your consciousness around that you have to be grateful for? Can you just take 1 minute and breathe in that? And we breathe. And we can extend that out. Can you put your hand on someone or something that feels solid to you in this moment? Oh, Dot, that was beautiful. Thank you. Dot reached out and touched Andy. Can we find those tools in those moments when life is hard? And let's face it, life gets hard sometimes. It gets scary and it feels too big for what we can do in the moment. And so how do we dare to declare some grandiose vision when we're scared? A friend of mine, a distant friend, I'm name dropping almost, I shouldn't be, Ian Van Zant, used to come to Ian Van Zant said to me one day, "What is your vision for your life?" And I told her, and she said, "Well, that's really nice. What is your bigger vision for your life? What would you want to do if you weren't afraid to do it?" And I thought for a few minutes, and I can't even remember what I said to her at the time, and I told her something else, and she said, "Okay, that's good." And she goes, "So what could you think of that if you could allow yourself to believe that you could, what would you want to do right now?" And she goes, "And I don't want you to give me an answer until you think of something that catches your breath in your chest and makes a little bit of pee come out." And I said, "Well, I'd rather not pee my pants while we're talking about this, but I have one of those." And she said, "All right, whatever that is, whatever that vision is that feels like it doesn't fit you yet, that you're not big enough for, hold on to that. Because when you've reached that part that gives you butterflies and makes you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can, that's the one you want to shoot for. Because that's the one that allows your godness to rise up and to evolve you into something you've never been before. What can we declare that we know that's so big that we're going to need to keep checking in with God in here to help us be brave enough to take the next step to do it. Now, that can be a myriad of things for any of us. We have 3 high school graduates here that are headed off to college. There's got to be a million things right now they're like, dorms and new classes and new paradigms of life and new experiences. And can I? Yes, you can. And you will do so much more than any of us would ever believe we could have done. Because that's what happens. We expand outward, right? We're having children that are smarter and hardier and taller and bigger. My granddaughter's like this tall right now, and she's 16 years old. And I'm like, where did that happen? Because we are evolving forward. There are opportunities that exist today that did not exist before. And we've got to be brave enough to declare our freedom. We just declared freedom as a nation. Friday was July 4th, Independence Day. Can you imagine in the time that that Declaration of Independence was written, how much fear there must have been in declaring that? And how much strength there was in support in making it happen. That's where the growing edge is. That's where it gets juicy. And life should be juicy. We're here to experience all this stuff. Things that push us, things that stretch us, things that make us really question what we're going to do with this day in front of us. One of our members sent me this beautiful declaration. They don't usually read anything this long, but I just think it's so beautiful. This came from Joan, who is traveling right now, off of a website called Freedom Consciousness Transmission. Freedom is not a date on a calendar. It is not the echo of a history book or a song sung beneath fireworks. True freedom is a living legacy. It is a frequency, and it is already yours. You're not here to fight for freedom. See, that's the thing. I'm going to pause for a second because that's so important. We fight cancer. We fight for freedom. We fight for causes that we want to see succeed. Fight is an energy. It's a certain energy. We can feel balled up and constricted and angry and maybe justified, but this fight, this energy of fight, comes with a push. It comes with a shove. So if you are fighting cancer, if you are fighting to quit smoking, if you are fighting the urge to have that one more drink, or if you are fighting whatever it is that you're fighting, I would encourage you to stop. Because the energy of fight, anything we push, it's science, anything we push has to push back. So if you're fighting cancer or fighting to succeed or fighting for a cause, you are creating an equal and opposite pushback. So how do we, instead of fighting for freedom, how do we embrace the freedom that is there and make it real? How do we look at the cancer, the diagnosis, the death, the loss, and instead of fighting against it, say, I see you, I know that you are there, and I am going to embrace this, and I'm going to get the lesson out of it, and I'm going to love it for all it can be for me and how it can transform me, and then I'm going to release it. Because what we fight, fights back. It can be no other way. It's simple science. And so what we are called to do is not fight for these things. It's to embrace the knowing that they are there. If I want freedom, I need to embrace my freedom. If I want health, I need to embrace my health. If I want prosperity, I need to reach out and open my heart and open my arms and open myself to receive it. It's not about fighting what's in front of us. It's about finding the blocks between us and the freedom we are seeking within whatever it is. So important. So important. Freedom is not earned. Oh, wait. True freedom is a living energy. It is a frequency, and it is already yours. You are not here to fight for freedom. You are here to remember that you are it. Freedom is not earned. It is revealed. It does not come from approval, control, or validation. It sees when you stop outsourcing your power and it surfaces. Don't give your power to something that's happening out there. The true power is in here. No matter what's happening out there, our freedom comes when we decide how to respond. That's when our freedom rings. Freedom is the energy that flows when you no longer abandon yourself to fit in, shrink down, or wait for permission. It is the lightness that enters when you no longer perform for love, prove to be enough, or bind your value to what others need. Freedom is not rebellion, it is resonance. That's important to get. It's a resonance. Love is a resonance. Opportunity is a resonance. Health is a resonance. It is not a reaction, it is a realization. It is what remains when you stop negotiating with the lie that says you are anything less than divine. To live in freedom is to choose from truth. Not to choose truth, to choose from truth. To act from knowing, to create from love. It means you get to say yes to the life that lights you up. I spent about 3 hours, everybody's commenting on how I'm a little red today. That's because I spent about 3 hours on the back of a Harley on Friday celebrating the 4th of July. I know, don't tell my kids. Yeah. They know, I'll tell my kids, but my son and his fiancée are not going to like it in the least. And I get it now. I understand why people love riding on Harleys in areas where it is not heavy traffic, where you can just flow. I get it. It was wonderful. It was freeing. And it was an expression on the outside of something that came from the inside, not the other way around. It means you get to stop explaining the dreams that others don't understand. It means you can let go of the weight of the world you were never meant to carry. This is the new declaration. You are free because you exist. You are worthy because you are. You are powerful not because of what you overcome, but because of what you allow yourself to become. Today is not about the past. It is about presence. It's about choosing now in this breath to embody the energy that creates all things. You are not waiting for freedom. You are the frequency it flows from. So open up and let it flow. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.